One cold autumn evening, the Smithson family decided to go on a road trip to a remote farm of their distant relatives. Georg and Laura took their son, 10-year-old Timmy, to meet together with their old acquaintances, the Morgan family, and spend the night in their old house. After rolling a 2-hour journey on a gloomy road, the Smithson family finally reached their goal. The Morgan house was old and abandoned. A grey cloud descended from the sky as they entered and closed the door behind them. The evening began to grow, and the family began unloading the car with their belongings. Timmy was tired and annoyed by the long trip. He rudely threw his backpack on the floor, causing his father's angry look. They were going to have lunch together as families, but a distant creaking in the corridor silenced everyone. "These are probably old wooden floors," Georg said, trying to calm the nerves of the whole family. While they were sharing food at the big table, the unpleasant sounds began to get louder. Suddenly, all the lights went out, shrouding the room in complete darkness. Laura looked around in panic to find candles or a flashlight, but all to no avail. Suddenly, Timmy started crying. "Mom, I'm scared. Where are we?" The wife got up to calm the boy, and at that moment the light returned. Everyone expected that this was the end of strange events, but they did not know that the Smithson family's ordinary night would turn into a nightmare. Later in the evening, when everyone was getting ready to go to bed, Timmy heard strange whispers and screams. Their house was gripped by a cold wind. The boy involuntarily touched the mattress on the bed, and the next moment, he felt something sinister that penetrated inside him. In the morning, the Smithson family woke up to a terrible smell of iron. They rushed out of their rooms and opened the door with fear in their hearts. What they saw made them freeze with horror. There was blood all over the Morgan room. The ceiling, walls, and windows were covered with dark spots. Their bodies lay on the floor, their eyes bulging with horror. Very soon, the Smithson family realized that Timmy was the source of this terrible massacre. The boy's face changed, and his eyes were filled with an abyss of evil. Something invisible took over his mind, and he became an instrument of death. The terrible events continued, affecting everyone who touched Timmy. Whoever was the victim of his touch, death awaited them. Timmy stalked his parents and made them suffer in terror, and they realized that the only way to save themselves was to get out of this damn house. In a panic, they ran out of the door, but every step brought them pain. The forces of evil that possessed Timmy did not give them rest. Having appeared in the forest, the family realized that it was waiting for the end. The forces of evil caught up with them, and they plunged into a world of darkness. So ended the nightmare that began with a trip to distant relatives. Now murderous forces dominated the souls of the Smithsons and forced them to become part of this cursed house. No one knew what had happened to these unfortunate people, and no one expected to see them alive again. So ended the terrible story about the Smithson family and their cursed son. Her terror continued and engulfed everyone who approached this house. Forever imprinted in the dark corridors of consciousness, this story reminds us of the terrible power of evil, which can easily replenish an innocent soul and turn it into a distributor of death.